Have you had this breakfast snack before? It's called Yau Zhar Guai in Cantonese, or more literally, oil-fried demons. This is a common sight throughout East and Southeast Asia, with very similar names across all the regions where this is consumed. Stay tuned to the end, as I will be delving into the etymology of this name and why I think the Cantonese name reflects the origin of this snack and not its Mandarin or Fujianese version. This snack is technically just lightly salted fried dough, with similar snacks common throughout the world. What makes Yau Zhar Guai stands out is that this snack is made with two sides, meant to be torn apart before eating, and the story behind its origin is the reason why this snack is truly unique. But before I recount the story behind Yau Zhar Guai, I need to make a quick detour to talk about the geography of China to better inform viewers of the story to come. You see, China has at its center a core region called Zhongyuan, also known as the Central Plains. It is a floodplain north of the Huai River and south of the Yellow River. This triangular floodplains, roughly the size of Cambodia, was the cultural, political and economic heart of ancient China. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to borrow the words of Frank Herbert to say, "Whoever controls the Central Plains controls China." But despite the importance of this geographical location, very few Chinese capitals are actually located within this region, with 3 out of 4 ancient capitals of China situated right at the edge of this region, either in a mountain valley overlooking this region, as in Xi'an, or across a dividing river, as in Beijing or Nanjing. The names of this capital also hints at the geographical orientation towards this region, with Bei meaning north and Nan meaning south, and Xi meaning west, oriented towards the Central Plains. Now, setting up your capital in the heart of these flat plains means your capital is a sitting duck against invaders from the east, north and west. And that is exactly what happens during the Song dynasty. With its capital in Kaifeng, right smack in the middle of this prosperous Central Plains, the Song were unable to defend its capital against the invading Chechen people of Jin dynasty from the northeast in 1125. Retreating and relocating the capital to the more defensible modern-day Hangzhou to prepare for the campaign to retake the north. Now, it is worth noting that Southern Song's boundary with Jin rests on the Huai River and not on the Yangtze River. Now, whenever China divides into north and south, the line where the division lies will tell you who has the militaristic advantage, with the line at Huai meaning the south has the upper hand. Conversely, if the line falls on the Yangtze, then it's a matter of time before the north defeats the south and unifies China. The Southern Song controls the line at Huai River, meaning that having the Song push the Jin out of the Central Plain was a real possibility. And this is where the protagonist of our story comes in. Yue Fei, a soldier in the Southern Song army, torn between confusion values of taking care of his frail mother or joining the front lines against the invading Jurchen Jin dynasty. In what is now an iconic image in Chinese culture, Yue Fei's mother ordered him to derobe, kneel before the altar of the ancestors, and proceeded to tattoo 4 words on his back: 精忠报国, loyalty and service to your country. I am certain that this scene is carved deep into the psyche of every Chinese children hearing this story, especially considering the taboo with which the act of tattoo carries in Chinese culture. Yue Fei quickly achieves considerable fame in the military for not only his martial prowess but also his strategic capabilities. After all, Yue Fei was literate and often indulged in reading the classics of warring state China. In 1133, Yue Fei was made a general of the Song army, and together with his contemporaries, Yue Fei's campaign against Jin sees large swath of land in the Central Plains returned to the Song, even reaching the outskirts of Kaifeng, the previous capital, where Yue Fei and his army prepared for a final siege in 1141. Now, it is at this time that an imperial decree halted the momentum of the Song army and demanded that Yue Fei abandon the siege and return to the southern Song capital. Upon returning, he was imprisoned on trumped-up charges by Qin Hui, the prime minister of the Song dynasty. The betrayal of Qin Hui and his wife in concocting the conspiracy to frame Yue Fei for treason, the subsequent interrogation leading to the eventual death of Yue Fei, was immortalized in the novel East Window Plot and deserved a series of videos unto itself, and is outside the ambit of this video. But modern scholarship are of the opinion that Yue Fei most likely was assassinated in prison, instigated by Qin Hui's betrayal, but not without the knowledge of the emperor, as the emperor had motives to sue for peace with Jin despite the momentum of the war, with the death of Yue Fei a specific condition for peace negotiation. 21 years later, in 1163, the succeeding emperor Xianzong of Song exonerated Yue Fei and erected a temple and mausoleum near where he was buried. This temple still stands today beside Westlake and is a popular tourist spot in the modern city of Hangzhou. As a posthumous retribution, 2 iron statues were casted representing Qin Hui and his wife for their conspiracy against Yue Fei and made to kneel before his mausoleum for eternity. What does it have anything to do with Youtiau, you ask? The framing and the death of Yue Fei angered the populace at the capital. As an act of defiance, pastry sellers began joining 2 pieces of dough and frying the crap out of them, screaming Yau Zhar Guai as a protest against the injustice suffered by their paragon of loyalty and Confucianism. The word Hui had 2 readings, one being Hui and the other being Kui. It is the latter reading that eventually evolved into Yau Zhar Guai, or deep-fried demons. The next time you look at this simple pastry, remember the anger of an entire nation against their corrupt leaders. As for the alternative etymological argument of a Fujianese origin of Yau Zhar Guai, the Guai here being the same Guai as Gui Tiao or Guo Tiao that became the Malay word for Guai. Now, this is unlikely to be true, as the Chinese once made very clear distinction between rice-derived or wheat-derived ingredients, with rice derivatives being this, read as Gui in Fujianese or Guo in Mandarin, while this, Go in Fujianese or Gao in Mandarin, being wheat-derived, and Yau Zhar Guai or Yau Zhar Guai being wheat-derived would have been Go or Gao instead of Gui or Guo. As for the last question of why modern Mandarin chooses to call this snack Youtiao instead of Yau Zhar Guai, my comment section is your canvas.